In 2008, the entire world's economy crashed spectacularly because deregulation and subprime mortgages brought things to a screeching halt in the United States. This in turn destabilized things around the world and made big problems for everybody's economies. It also saw Japan's political state have a massive shakeup, with Yasuo Fukuda and Taro Aso both coming into office and leaving with alarming speed. 2009 was more of the same as governments around the world, including the one led by the newly minted President Barack Obama, scrambling to reinvigorate their tanking economies. As far as robots were concerned, 2008 was a bit of a hiccup, but 2009 picked the slack back up. So let's get right down to business. Shaking off some dust, Macross Frontier brought Macross back to the airwaves in a big way. Macross in the modern era would be remarkable by its fearless needling of the anime industry as it was telling a story. Following the aftermath of the Zentradi Wars, humanity threw several giant space fleets into the void to colonize new planets. However, once in deep space, they found themselves beset by an unknown, void-born intelligence. Hotshot pilot Alto Saotome finds himself joining up with the SMS military to defend his home. Meanwhile, Cheryl Gnome, pop idol extraordinaire, finds herself slowly being replaced by a younger, less curvy, and quarters Zentradi Ranka Lee. Will they put their professional differences aside and work together against the unknown enemy? The show is still in licensing hell thanks to Harmony Gold, but is available outside the United States, and is well worth a look. Kurogane no Linebarrels, also known as Linebarrels of Iron in the United States, released on TV in 2008. The story concerns Koichi Hayase, who awakens from a coma to find that not only does he have superpowers, but he's also the factor, or pilot, of a mecha called the Linebarrel. Teaming up with Emi Kizaki and the medical equipment company Juda, who just happens to make mecha as a side gig, he takes on machines from a parallel dimension that are apparently invading this version of Earth. Unfortunately, having superpowers makes Koichi a bit of a tosspot, or perhaps it's a problem of being connected to this machine. But now he's got to overcome his own prideful nature and work together to defeat the invaders and learn the secrets of this mysterious D-soil that brought him back to life. Currently available in the States from Funimation. Yatterman is a staple of mecha anime, though it's been a minute since the crew appeared on TV outside of cameos. While the Time Bokan series was standard on TV back in the 70s, it had gone to ground as Tatsunoko focused on other works. Back onto TV it went in 2008, leaving most of the cast intact. The story is mostly the same sort of wacky pun-based silliness and globe-trotting goofiness, followed by explosions. The series ran for 60 episodes, and was given an OVA in the following year. On top of all that, Yatterman also ended up getting itself a live-action film, which was quite popular in Japan, directed by Takeshi Miike. The film was brought over by Discotek Media, though the anime series would not be picked up to date. Okay, try to follow me on this one. Asura Cryan follows Tomoharu Natsume, who's haunted by the ghost of his formerly living bestie after an airplane crash. His brother gives him a silver briefcase, and a mysterious woman tells him that it belongs both to Tomoharu and to his dead friend. After getting attacked by a shrine maiden who wants the briefcase, he finds himself embroiled in a world full of magic and mecha and madness. Tomoharu is now the guardian of the most powerful Magitech machine on the planet, called the Asura Machina. Escalation of power ensues as the various forces arrayed against Tomoharu and his friends pull out the big guns in an attempt to get their hands on this machine. The series ran for 26 episodes and was brought stateside through Crunchyroll. A pet project of Shoji Kawamori of Macross fame, Basquatch is a tale of mecha and basketball and the moon. Yeah, you heard that right. Bigfoot basketball and its streetball version Basquatch are the hot new thing, and a group of young people have decided to use it to make their dreams come true. Our main character, Dan, created his own Bigfoot called the Dangan that ended up causing massive destruction and got him thrown in jail. Down on his luck, Dan starts a whole lot of trouble trying to make enough money to get to the moon, to fix his sister's legs. Lucky for him and the crew he gathers, he can launch a thunderbolt ball that shines with a radiant light. Where will his quest lead him? Hopefully to the moon, and hopefully out of debt, though after 12 episodes we're not sure. Currently available from Made in Japan, there was a revival in the wings, but it seems to have fallen to the wayside. Tenchi Muyo, War on Geminar, is more in line with the sort of harem comedy that would be more in vogue in the coming years, but I would be remiss not to mention it here. The series concerns Kenshi Masaki, teleported from Earth to go and pilot a mecha to kill Empress Lashara the 28th. He fails and ends up in her service both because he's amusing and because he's valuable, as male mecha pilots are rare in this world. Tasked with training up a bunch of new mech pilots, he becomes something of a celebrity before everything comes to a head and a full-scale war breaks out. Sitting at 12 episodes long, the series was licensed for Funimation for a North American release. Rideback dropped this year, being one of the least Mecha-like series to date, due to the open cockpit, small size, and much smaller scale of the conflict. Rin Ogata was a promising up-and-coming ballet dancer, but suffered a serious injury while dancing and was forced to quit. Years later in college, she comes across a club that builds and rides transforming motorcycle-like robots called Ridebacks. She finds that her unique ballet skills of balance and finesse make her a natural on a rideback, and picks up the hobby very quickly. However, those same skills also start to get her into serious trouble, as the government has been watching her and some of her friends for anti-government activity. The series ended up in Funimation's hand after its 12-episode run to general acclaim. Mazinger Edition Z: The Impact is a retelling of the original Mazinger Z series, with much more focus on high-impact action and less on Monster of the Week business. As always, Koji Kabuto pilots Mazinger Z against the forces of Baron Ashura and Dr. Hell, who are bent on domination of the planet. Interspersed with this are more explanations and backstory to just what happened to bring us to the point where Koji and Dr. Hell's minions do battle, and adds in references and characters from other Go Nagai works for flavor. The series lasted 26 episodes and was licensed by Discotech Media in the USA. 2009 would bring to a close what this series will call the Revival Era and usher in the next decade. This will be bringing us to a much less interesting decade as far as mech shows are concerned, but keep it locked here for more mecha goodness.